Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It has been a fairly quiet day after the US market was closed yesterday due to a presidential day. Just a very quick recap of S&P 500. 49.20 key supports or key level. It's not the strongest support, but a break below and a close below, then we could see downwards pressure towards the 48.45, possibly 4800. The RSI is in divergence, so showing divergence on the here. So it does indicate we are a bit stressed on the uptrend. It's not to say that it can't go higher. The Nasdaq also 17,478. Is the key level to look out for short term. If it closes below that, then we have a downwards pressure towards around the 17,000 level. In the European markets, EUROSTOXX 50 here, sideways stepping, also a bit stretched in the uptrend, but again we have an uptrend, so key level here 45.74 to look out for. If it does close below that level, then we could see a larger correction, but at least a correction down to 4,600, possibly lower. DAX had formed this doji thing here the other day, Friday it was. We didn't get a negative day yesterday, so it's not the most perfect top and reversal pattern. However, with the divergence on the RSI and lower levels, I will consider this a top reversal pattern, but I will not confirm it until I see a close below 16,820. Amsterdam index, AX, that gapped higher the other day, Friday, and then we have a little bit of a setback. But now we actually do have some divergence here on the RSI, so let's see if it can actually keep up. But there's a little bit of a top-ish situation going on. Not to say we can't move higher, just be aware that it is quite stressed at the moment. An index that is not that much stressed is the Belgian market. It is above the upper falling trend line. Can't really get its act together. However, we have the 55 moving average coming up here. We should see a move towards the 37.42, but it's not really given that it will materialize, despite the fact that we are in a positive sentiment and there's no divergence. So it does support higher levels, but it's really struggling. So let's see if we can actually move higher. CAC 40. To begin with, yesterday it actually did threaten with a possibly top and reversal pattern in the form of a doji evening star, but the market ended a little bit higher, moving higher today, so we are still trending higher in the CAC 40 index. So we could see a move towards the above the 7,800 and possibly up to 7,840 level, which is 200% of this range here. There is divergence on the RSI, however, indicating we are a little bit stressed, but it is breaking the upper falling trend line here. So I would rely on the CAC to move higher for now, at least. The SMI 20, it actually did break well above yesterday and close above 11,334, and that is really key. Now it can threaten this top and reversal pattern here. It's actually a beautiful one, and we saw a sell-off, but it can be cancelled if we take out the peak of that top and reversal, the peak here at 11,474. That is the level to look out for. It is really pushing for it. We're back above the 60 level, and we are testing the upper falling trend line here on the RSI. So let's see, maybe we can push higher. If it does close above, well, then we are likely to see a test of and possibly cancellation of the top reversal. It's also been a fairly quiet day on the FX market, to say the least. Yesterday, very slow. It seems like we are caught range bound between 108 and 107 here on the euro dollar, with a slightly biased negative tone and sentiment. We have lower lows and lower highs in general. We have a negative sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, so indicating that we could see a push lower, and I still believe we'll see a push lower towards 106.60, but it is still holding on. We also see the 55 moving average is flattening now. We have the 200 here, and we have the 100 coming up here. So we could be caught range bound and maybe have a little bit of rebound. But it's a little bit up in the air at the moment with euro dollar, but very indecisive, I would say. Cable, also the same picture really, between 125 and a bit, and up to 127, but the mean price or mid price, so I would say is around 26, 50, 55, and it seems like we're also range bounding here, and that's what you see sometimes on the market. It does move every single day, so it's about sometimes wait and see for some signals, and that's what we're doing at the moment, because it's a little bit up the air, a little bit uncertainty there, and sometimes they are not a clear signal. And you have to remember, most of the moves happen only 30% of the time, so 75% of the moves happen only less than 30% of the time. Dollar yen could be taking up a little bit after testing the 149.75. As we also mentioned yesterday, I think we will see it move higher towards the 152. If we will reach it, it's still debatable, but we are in an uptrend. We are in a positive sentiment with no divergence, indicating we should see higher highs in the dollar yen. Euro yen trying to get away from the 161.90-95 level here, just around 162. I think it will succeed in doing that, and it could potentially move higher towards 163. But it is not that convincing. But still, the indicators are supporting higher levels. Aussie yen likely to test 98.55. Fairly shortly after saying goodbye to 97.80. Can it break it? Well, then there is definitely further upside potential towards 99 and maybe even 100. That's going to be big news there. The sterling yen, also a little bit dancing sideways, but also thinking about how euro and sterling is really trading at the moment, so fairly quiet. But we are in a bullish trend short term here. We are also we have some RSI divergence. This peak is lower than this one over here, but we are still in a bullish sentiment, so we should see a move higher. Dollar Swiss dancing around this 88 and 88 up to 90. Still room higher. It's just a little bit of a correction, trying to regain some strength, pausing before I think we will see a next move higher above 89. Positive RSI and no divergence, indicating we should move higher. The dollar index hovering around the 61.8 retracement here, shot up, back though, and it actually does look a little bit like dollar Swiss, doesn't it? Where it's set back and trying to move higher a little bit here. We are in a bullish sentiment, we are in a bullish trend, so we should see higher dollar index levels. Gold continuing its bounce off the 100 moving average here with the doji. I think we could spike up to around the 61.8 retracement at 2034-35, where we have the 55 moving average and the cloud also giving some resistance. We are still in a negative sentiment on the RSI, so I think we will see a shooting up there, and then we will start drifting lower. Silver is a little bit frustrating, isn't it? I'll be breaking above these peaks over here, or these peaks over here. I couldn't take out the 21.90, so technically maybe it is building an uptrend, but it is still in a negative sentiment on the RSI. We are still below the cloud. You can see testing there. We still we got hammered back there below the 255 moving average. So in general, I would say we are stuck between 21.90 and up to around 24, and we can actually be that without any meaningful direction for now. On the on copper, very strong rebound up to the and above the 382 at the moment. Can it get back here up around 385 above the cloud? Then we could see again a potential move to 400, but I'm not quite sure we'll get there. It has been disappointing us so many times, so it's not really doing it. We're still in a negative sentiment on the other side, so it could still be shot back down to this range here. So it's also a little bit frustrating with the copper without any meaningful direction. However, we can see lower low, lower high, lower than this one over here, lower low. So technically, short term, we are in a little bit of a bear trend. On the oil market, on the other hand, we have WTI testing the 79.29 peak here back from late January, and also this morning testing the 79.77 resistance or peak here going back to November last year. And that is actually some interesting levels we have been testing at the moment. We are in a positive sentiment indicating we should move higher. We are above the cloud. It's not that convincing with the cloud declining really. We are above all the moving averages. Can it actually close above? If we can get a move up, then we are looking at 82, 50, 60 level, but potentially higher. The Brent oil is lagging the WTI a little bit. 84.75 is the level to look out for, but we are in a positive sentiment, so we should see it trying to push higher, but it is really struggling. And we also have the 100 moving average coming down there. So it's really struggling, and it's a little bit indecisive. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a straight up line or anything. We could still see it being caught range bound between these two, this rising trend line here and the horizontal one. Finally, on the US 10-year, since it was also here was a very quiet day yesterday, to say the least, seems like we are stuck between 420 and 433 level here for a little bit. But with the positive undertone, we should see a move up to 438, possibly higher here in the coming days and weeks. All right, that's all for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a nice day. Happy trading.